With top-name WWE contracts expiring and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for December 6th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at WrestlingHubOfficial and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. In an Atlanta street fight on Dynamite last week, Cody Rhodes took on Andrade, where in the final moments the American Nightmare put his opponent through a flaming table. While it seems the feud between these two is over, Jim Cornette has picked up his rivalry with Rhodes, as he had this to say about the table spot. When you go to a barn or a manure field to watch the garbage deathmatch wrestling, you see two fat, bald guys in sweatpants railing on each other with light tubes and setting each other on fire. You expect to see that. All 100 fat, bald guys who pay to be there expected too. However, on national television, and not even just a national cable network but a Turner network, you expect professional wrestling by professionals, not garbage deathmatch wrestling. There really needs to be a higher standard here, and we can laugh and joke about the people booing Cody. No matter what he does, he could cure cancer or save kittens from burning buildings. I agree that is funny, yes, but all this match on a real television network does, besides encouraging the aspiring fat deathmatch wrestlers, is to make wrestling and everybody in it as individuals look like incompetent morons. How do two supposed professionals do something like this that both makes wrestling look obviously phony and at the same time hurts them worse than if they had a real match and nobody cared, and the rating was down anyway? AEW star Matt Hardy has been getting flack from fans for his stance on vaccines, with him recently saying you shouldn't depend on anyone else to decide what's best for you and your family. Make the decisions that work best for you and yours. This caused a fan to respond. When you get hurt in the ring and need surgery, say you'll do it yourself because you know what's best. No, you don't. You're not a doctor and you have no idea what to do in situations that require medical expertise. Googling whatever agrees with you is not research or critical thinking. Hardy would reply, "You are an idiot. You obviously don't have any life experiences or you wouldn't have responded with such ignorance. I will and would never go online for advice. I live in the real world. I listen to professionals. I believe in science. I do what's best for me and my family." You're not getting tweets from Big Money Matt anymore. You're getting authentic Matt Hardy tweets and thoughts now. With Hardy previously saying he will try to be more authentic in AEW, it'll be interesting to see how his run with the promotion goes from here. With him wrestling in AEW, Dustin Rhodes looks like he has not missed a step. Despite his age, the 52-year-old performs better than most, as he mentioned on Way of the Blade how he keeps himself healthy. Let's face it, my knees are hurting, my shoulders are hurting, I need replacements, and I've put on little band-aids from time to time to get through, and I do a good job of it, and I take care of my body, and I try to stay in shape. I'm always on the go because I truly believe that if you sit down and just relax, it's going to catch up to you real quick and you're going to die. That's it. If you sit, you die. I believe in that, truly. So I've got to keep stepping. And that's one of my sayings. Keep stepping. If you stop, it's going to catch up to you and hit you in the face. And I learned that from Dad. Dad told me that a lot. And this stuck with me because he started saying keep stepping to me when I got out of drug and alcohol rehab. From that day, he just said that every day to me. So that's my saying. And not a lot of people know that, but that's where I learned that saying keep stepping. I take it to heart. And 13 years of no alcohol, no drugs, no foreign drug, or anything in my system, that's saying something, and I do owe that to my grit, my hard work, and my family being beside me in a good support system. And the only way I see is one way, and that's to keep going forward and get my body in the best shape as possible, or stay as the best shape as possible so I can perform at such a high level with these youngsters, because let's face it, they're getting faster and faster and they need direction, and I'm there to slow them down. I'm their coach too, they listen. Last week's AEW Dynamite had the lowest ratings since May, with them bringing in 861,000 viewers. Despite bringing in big names like CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, and Adam Cole, Dynamite has once again gone back down in ratings. On his podcast, Jim Cornette explained this decline. People always ask me on Twitter, Cornette, ratings have gone down even with your boys Punk and Danielson on the show. I mean, I already said earlier that they are making them less special now. Over the last 4 to 5 weeks, they've gone down again from 1.2 million to 800,000. They put themselves in a position where once something works for them, whether it is somebody in TV or whatever, they hotshot a couple more weeks, and then they take away the freshness and go back to 800k. I've been saying this for months. It is a pattern. New talent, big name, hotshot deal 1.2 million, and then they drop back again because you cannot hotshot every week and have a surprise debut every week. And if they had hold it back so CM Punk only wrestled once in 3 weeks, you won't be happy hearing a Punk promo? No. Instead, they use it up, and they are back where they started from, and then they bring in the next one, and ratings are back up because it is not the matches, it is the debuts that are usually brand new in the company. With AEW President Tony Khan saying there are many long-term stories planned out, we'll have to see if that is the solution to the ratings issue. In his current feud with CM Punk, MJF has been enthralled in a verbal war with the star. MJF has also made some unflattering comments about Britt Baker, which caused her significant other Adam Cole to respond on Wrestling with Brandon Walker. Funny enough, I actually didn't hear it until afterward. I was doing something else right before and I had missed it. All I'm going to say is everyone loves my girlfriend. What's not to love? She's the AEW Women's World Champ. She's one of the hottest wrestlers in the world, and people can't help but talk about her. I can proudly say that I'm the one who stands by her side. She's killing it. I will say this, if MJF ever brings her up again, I'm going to slap the taste out of his mouth. Not bothered by it, but if he does, I'm gonna hit him in the face. Not bothered at all. Proud of her. I'm gonna knock him out. Speaking of Adam Cole, Jim Cornette touched on the star's booking in AEW so far, with him saying Cole should be embarrassed. Adam Cole was one of the best performers in the business on NXT. I look forward to his matches and interviews, and now he is just doing terrible skits with jobbers and mascots. And Adam, I really don't get why you are not the least bit embarrassed to be doing what you were doing and interacting with these childish clowns. But you should be. You should be very embarrassed. And he is completely wasted. They have completely wasted Adam Cole. With Disco Inferno suggesting Cole turn babyface and feud with Bryan Danielson, we'll have to see where Cole goes from here. AEW commentator Jim Ross has given another update on his skin cancer radiation therapy, with him taking to Twitter to write, "Number 6 in the book, great staff taking care of me, I'm winning." Of course, it has been noted that Ross will not likely return at least until December 29th, as we continue to wish him all the best. Back in September, for 2 weeks, AEW would lay claim to 2 victories and ratings over Monday Night Raw. Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics recently took a look at those ratings, as the DVR numbers reveal a crucial detail. AEW Dynamite edged out WWE Raw twice in 18-49 in September in Live Plus same-day ratings. Although DVR viewing is less valuable than live viewing, Nielsen data shows Raw was ahead or tied when you include delayed viewing in the following 7 days. When it comes to overall views, Raw was always ahead, but in the 18-49 demographic, AEW has the clear leg up. At a live event in Edinburgh, Texas, Jeff Hardy was in a match with Xavier Woods and Drew McIntyre, taking on the Bloodline. Another appearance for Hardy was set for Corpus Christi, but he would end up being replaced by Rey Mysterio, according to PW Insider. It was further noted that Hardy teamed with Woods and McIntyre against the Bloodline last night in Edinburgh, Texas for the main event of that Super Show live event. Hardy spent most of the match inside the ring, being worked over by Roman Reigns and the Usos, and apparently becoming more sluggish as the match continues. Once he made a hot tag to McIntyre, Hardy disappeared into the crowd, followed by security, and did not return to the ring for the post-match celebration with his partners. It's not known at this time what the situation is with Hardy, as we hope he's doing well. Johnny Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly made what people think to be their last major appearances for NXT at the War Games pay-per-view last night. O'Reilly should be taking on Von Wagner tomorrow for NXT 2.0 in a steel cage, as that is expected to serve as his final match. While WWE is looking to re-sign both, they think even if they can manage this, that at least one of them will be taking time off. It was further reported by Fightful that the prevailing belief among those we spoke to is that they expect both contracts to expire, and at least one to outright leave the company after exploring their options. Gargano would note at War Games while speaking to the crowd that he would be back on Tuesday to discuss his future plans. With AEW as a viable option for both stars, WWE could be saying goodbye to O'Reilly and Gargano. Reportedly, they have both been offered multi-year deals to stay, with him even being brought to SmackDown recently. Hopefully, we will have a better idea of what's to come for these two by the end of tomorrow. Gargano's wife Candice LeRae posted a photo of herself with Gargano and Ciampa from a previous TakeOver event, writing it was always about the journey. AEW Women's Champion Britt Baker would even post a throwback picture with herself, Gargano, and LeRae as she wrote, "When I was one of Johnny's students, we would be so excited to hear all about his early NXT trips before he officially signed. He was busier than ever creating the start of his legacy, but he still always made it back to Cleveland to train us." Gargano had signed a contract extension previously, as his deal is expected to end on the 10th. For O'Reilly, his contract was reported to be expiring at this time, as this will be his last week in WWE if he does not re-sign. Following Liv Morgan mentioning those released in WWE in a promo segment with Becky Lynch, Morgan was reportedly on the receiving end of backstage heat. On Out of Character, Liv gave her thoughts on the matter. "Was it hard for me to say what I said? No, because Becky has brought up my friends and my friends not being here. After that segment, I got a text from my friends saying how proud they were and how amazing they thought it was. I don't think there is any hard feelings anywhere around. I know I'm addressing something that may feel like an elephant in the room or taboo, but these are things that are happening. I don't think I said anything wrong. Everyone is allowed to feel how they want and react how they want. There was not one intention in my mind to offend anyone or make light of any situation, but just address the reality of the situation. I felt like she needed to hear it. She's on such a high horse right now that I couldn't wait to yank her down and bring her to reality." Tonight on Raw, Morgan will get her chance to take on Becky Lynch for the women's title. With him previously facing off at Crown Jewel and set to go at it again next month, the Wrestling Observer has noted a potential spoiler regarding Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at the main event for Day 1. This is scheduled to be a multi-match series, and this being one of the matches in the series. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.